This watershed is an extraordinarily complex region. Although only 76 square miles, it contains an enormously complex human and natural environment.
Not only did I grow up here, but my father grew up here. And my father would tell me stories of swimming in the Mystic River. To me, I laugh every time I think about that because I think of how polluted it was in the 70s when I grew up here, and I think about the lack of access we had. But you know, at one time, that's how important the river was, that was the place that people would go down and cool off during a hot summer day.
We realized that at the end of the day, these industries are locating in the city of Chelsea, polluting our air and our water and our health, and leaving at the end of the night with fat wallets and not really caring very much about the community of Chelsea. So we started to organize the Chelsea side of the Chelsea Creek Action Group, and we focused our efforts with East Boston on a holistic restoration of the Chelsea Creek, creating public access, engaging and empowering our residents to take back the Chelsea Creek waterfront.
And so the same group of us pulled together again, and we decided the threats to the Navy Yard were so substantial that we needed to create a permanent organization.
We have two separate rivers, or two types of rivers. We have the upper portion of the lower Mystic, which is much greener, much more open space, thanks to the land holdings of the Department of Conservation and Recreation. And then we come into the lower Mystic, and we have much more industrialized area with heavy maritime industrial uses.
Conde Street, that's where Chelsea Creek is. It's all industry, and we only have one park. And this is only one park for both cities, Chelsea and East Boston. I want to create awareness, the importance of the watershed, and as an environmental justice community, the importance of having access to the Chelsea Creek.
We've been having a different type of event. One of them was the festival that we had on August 8th. We had it in this park, in which many of the community, they didn't have knowledge of this, that this park could exist. So beginning from that, we believe that we need more access to the river.
We've had some significant flooding that has created not only disruption in our government services. For example, our high school had to be actually closed down for several months, but also just the economic development and the disruption to our businesses and commercial sector. We rely on the water in our community, the rivers and the water bodies, to provide a quality of life in our community.
An effort throughout the watershed to take care of this total disregard for what people put on their lawns and the runoff into the lakes and other water bodies. And we certainly in our organization have tried very hard to do this. We're not overly successful, but no matter what we do to improve the water quality, if bad stuff keeps going into the water, it's really not going to make much difference.
So they identified a section of the river where the sediment, contaminated sediment, is usually measured in parts per million, was measured in percentage points. 1 and 2% contaminated coal tar. And along this line of green timber you see along the river here, they put in sheeting and they de-watered behind it, mixed the soil with Portland cement to harden it, and dredged up all that contaminated sediment and basically created 2 new acres of land on the Everett waterfront. And so a $40 million release abatement measure was finally achieved through the works of a lot of people over a long period of time.
Peter Braun moved from New Jersey to the shores of the Mystic Lakes, and when he walked into his backyard of his new home, he wondered how good the water quality was in the lake on which he was now living. A significant contaminant plume was discovered in the upper Mystic Lake, and That plume was followed back to its source, which turned out to be several of the largest Superfund sites in the region, all of which was documented and memorialized in a book and movie called A Civil Action.
The EPA and Region 1 has done a wonderful job in convening a lot of community organizations, local government officials, state officials, businesses in the Mystic River Watershed Steering Committee. And I've really appreciated the opportunity to collaborate with all of these other businesses and organizations.
We're finding allies. We're finding people that understand the connectivity of all our places so that when we are doing an effort, it doesn't feel like such an uphill battle.
Water by its very nature doesn't honor municipal boundaries. So what we want to accomplish is making progress through collaboration and communication. It's the only way we're going to accomplish that.
You know, I think about my father all the time swimming in there, and wondering if we will ever see a time again where kids in Chelsea will be able to go down there and enjoy a dip in the water.